Hey guys, I'm Sati.
And I'm Miles.
Welcome to a new episode.
In this particular video, we're going to talk about how to meet Mr. or Mrs. Right. Do you want to take this one first?
Yeah.
What do you think?
So I think quite clearly we need to raise our standards. And by that, it's just knowing that you deserve what you deserve and what you're looking for in a person and seeking that out. So when I raised my standards to look for Miles, there were things that I went through my checklist from my ex and thought, I don't want this, I don't want that, but I do want someone who's got ambition. I do want someone who goes to the gym. I do want someone who looks after what they eat. And these are all things that help me raise my standard because my ex didn't have that. So I was able to raise my standard by going, I need to put myself in an environment that allowed me to raise that standard by seeking out some of those key points.
And he wasn't completely wrong, was he? Like there was some traits that were really good.
No,
you went, I do want those traits in the next one.
Yeah, but it was really nice to have, the difficult experience and just go, so I like that, I'll keep that, I'll add that to my list. But then what do I want more for me? What will satisfy and make me raise my standards as well? Because that's the key thing. Because one thing that Miles and I realised about a relationship is that we have love for each other and we're great together, but we're quite happy being independent as well.
Yeah.
And, I'm so grateful for the day that we've met and the love that we've got. But one thing that we do have is just the capability of being independent.
Independent and codependent.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because we work amazingly together, but then so do we apart. And that was the key thing for me to raise my standard. What do you think?
Yeah, I think, so the raise your standards thing, where that comes from, I kind of stole that comes from a mentor of ours called Tony Robbins. Tony Robbins is, a motivational speaker. It's probably the easiest way of explaining him. If you check out I'm Not Your Guru, his documentary on Netflix, I recommend it. And basically what Tony means by raising your standards is, he would say, in any area of your life where you're not happy, the fastest way for you to get happy is to raise your standards. So let me give you a different example. If right now your body is not the way you want it to look, it's not and you look in the mirror and you don't like what you see, you need to raise your standards. And the easiest way to raise your standards is to get around people who've already got the standard that you want. Meaning you want to model what works. So if I want to get a really good physical body, I need to find a fellow human being, in my case preferably a man who's of a similar age group, who's got the kind of physique that I aspire to have. If you are a single woman or a single man and you go, I want to attract an unbelievable partner, then the best way for you to raise your standard is to go and find a couple who have the kind of love and the connection that you go, that's what I want. Part of the reason why we've started these videos, started this business together, is because people have been regularly saying to us, you two are an example of the kind of person, you're the kind of love example I want to have. So I was like, well, maybe we should teach this stuff to people.
Yeah.
And
there's no right or wrong.
There is no right or wrong.
This is just what
works for us, right?
And this is what people have been complimentary of us about. So we've gone, we've got to put that out there.
Yeah.
And help others.
Absolutely.
Help others find love.
Yeah. So what we're trying to get at here is the fastest way for you to find the one, to find Mr. Right or find Mrs. Right, is raise your standards. Yeah. How do you actually, in actionable terms, go about that? Find a role model or role models. You need to probably change your peer group. There's a great poster I've used in my presenting, you've never heard this before, which says, you become like the 5 people you spend the most time with. Hang around with 5 negative people, you become the 6th.
And that's scary.
Hang around with 5 really physically fit people, you'll become the 6th. Hang around with 5 great couples that are all in love, you will become the 6th. At first it may annoy you and irritate you and bug you that you're seeing everyone, oh God, everyone's in love. But if you're focusing on that, if you model that, you will eventually find it as well.
And it will create the pain for you to find that as well, because you'll be like, I want that. I want to see what they've got. I want to have that relationship.
Yeah, I regularly used to watch romantic comedies by myself because my goal was to create that. Like, and I had friends that would say, "Oh, that's unrealistic. You can't meet people like that. It's not like what it is in the movies." I retain the belief that it is like what it is in the movies because someone has to have the imagination to create that. So even the most stereotypically romantic movie like Love Actually, some movie director had to come up with that idea, and the only way they could come up with that idea is if they've seen it in real life.
Yeah.
We see old people in country parks holding hands, walking their dog, and we go, "That's a model." That like we want to be 80 years old, holding hands, walking through a country park with our dog.
And we still look at couples, especially now that we've got a baby on the way, that I thought you were going to go, "Do I?" But now that we've got a baby in the way, we look at couples who have children.
Yeah.
And we
Who've
see,
got 4 kids.
Yeah, and they're
they're
balancing.
smiling, and their kids are smiling. And,
Yeah.
and we know that that's not going to be all bells and whistles and happy every moment. But we look at them and we go, if they're in public and there's a baby crying and the mum's smiling, I go, that's worth modelling. That's worth modelling.
And we absorb it. We're like, we take photographs, don't we? We look at someone and we go, that's what we want that.
Yeah.
And it's become so normal for us now because we aim for it so much. Yeah. But we look for our next level. We're always aiming for what next. Yeah. So that's really helped.
So finding the one is not random. Like it is a recipe. There are millions of people out there that are in love, that have been married for 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, and so on. And there's the pattern for them to do that is like I said, there's elements that are different, but I guarantee that most people are following a similar recipe. And a big part, in my opinion, is you need to raise your standards, and you maybe need to analyze your peer group. Like if you're a young girl and you're watching this video, all your friends are single, they're dropping in and out of relationships, they're dating, they're not really interested in long term, or they're dating people that are not right. Not saying all of a sudden you should get rid of your friends. I'm saying you should maybe reach up for some new friends that are maybe older, that are maybe in long-term relationships, that have got kids.
Yeah.
Because if that's the kind of stability that you're looking for, then you need to start spending time with people that already have that stability.
And it may feel out of sync because you feel like there's not enough common ground, but remember, you are modelling, you are looking at what they have, how they got it, to then take for your own relationship. Because I remember being the single girl with my friends having relationships, and remember thinking, Saturday night we'll go out, but of course they wouldn't go out because they were having a lovely Saturday night in, take out, they were having a glass of wine, and I thought, I want that. I mean, I still went out, I still had other friendship groups that I was still with, but I was able to look at my close friends who were in relationships and think, that's what I want. And I know it's sometimes quite difficult when you're not in, when you don't have love and you're like, oh God, I just want to be away from them. They're just too happy. They're too nice, which we get quite a lot, don't we? Yeah. But it's only because people are just like, well, how did it happen? How did you meet? How did you find each other? I think that.
That's pretty much it. So it's about raising your standards, and it's about looking at who you spend time with, because who you spend time with is who you become. And you may want to look at who you're currently around, because they might not be the right people for you.
We do look at your last 5 phone calls, don't we? Like,
we do, yeah.
Who's your last 5 phone calls?
I think mine were all to you. I don't know if that counts. 5 Saturdays. Good enough for me.
Well, that's intense.
I like it. Hope this video has been useful. Raise your standards. And if you've really enjoyed this video, please make sure, if you haven't, subscribe to the channel or like the page, and then you'll get notified of future videos. And also share the video with your friends who you feel would benefit from this too.
Thanks, guys.
See you next time. Take care. Bye.